A tattoo is a body modification made by inserting ink into the dermis layer of skin. This changes the pigment. Tattoo art has a culture within itself, seeing a rapid growth of new artists and ideas, as well as constantly being featured in the media. There is no doubt that tattoos are popular in America, especially in our time. On the other hand, tattoos do come with a couple negative associations: slavery, gangs, crime, tragic events in history, skin cancer, trouble with employment, and bad reputations. But before you begin to argue on those issues, let's think about the history of tattoos.
Where do you think tattoos came from?
Indians.
Americans.
I think it came from India and it evolved from how they did henna.
I'm Native American, and I think they originated from the Indians.
Well, I heard that people that were in World War I would give themselves tattoos by mixing urine and gunpowder, and they would use needles to put it in their body to signify if they were a sniper or something.
I think tattoos came from the ancient cultures of Egypt.
I think tattoos come from cats.
I think tattoos came from the American Indians because, before wars or whatever, they get their faces with, berry juice and paint and whatever. So I guess from then it developed into becoming more permanent, etc., etc. And now today everyone gets them for, to express their emotions or whatever.
Tribal arts because of their culture. Ancient Egyptian times.
I'm not really sure, but I think they might have came from Egyptians, the writings you see on the walls, maybe they just put them on their bodies.
I would think even as far back as Egypt, because of all the paintings on the wall and the way they used to paint their bodies. And I don't know if they're necessarily tattoos, but the body art is a really ancient form of expression.
India?
I think that they were, it just came from the innate desire to express yourself, and what better way to do that than just put it on your body. It's really the only thing you have that's constant, and I just think it was an ancient thing that just became maybe a tribal thing, and then it just has gone from there.
So everyone has their guess, but not many know for sure. Fortunately, there are myths, written records, and physical remains of the beginning of the tattoo culture within certain countries and areas. In 1991, Otzi the Iceman, a 5,000-year-old man, made headlines all over the world when his frozen body was discovered on a mountain between Austria and Italy. Being one of the best-preserved corpses found in this time, 57 tattoos were found on his skin. In 1948, mummies from over 2,000 years ago were found in the tombs of the Altai Mountains of Siberia. The tattoos found on the mummies represented various animals, some seeming magical and decorative. In 1891, a mummified priestess from Thebes, named Amunet, was found with dots and lines tattooed in geometric patterns. The earliest evidence of tattoos in Japan is found in clay figurines. These sculptures with painted and engraved tattoo marks date from 3000 BC or older. They had a symbolic purpose for accompanying the dead on their journey into the unknown. In Polynesian culture, tattooing was, and still is considered, the most intricate and skillful of the ancient times. They believe that a person's mana, or spiritual power, should be shown through tattoos. This information has been passed down through songs, legends, and ritual ceremonies. In Samoa, the tattooing tradition had much to do with ranking and titles, starting with chiefs and their assistants, and continuing with notable families. The tradition was transported to New Zealand and later to several international subcultures. Though there are plenty of other parts of the world with tattoo history, let's bring it back to North America, where early accounts describe the wide practice of tattooing among Native Americans. Tattoos recognized their outstanding warriors, reflected high status, showed marital status, and identified groups. The trend later sparked in the 1800s by immigrants, where we had our first professional tattoo artist, Martin Hildebrandt, who was a German immigrant, and later we had the first electric tattoo machine in 1891, who was issued to an Irish tattoo artist, Samuel O'Reilly. He also soon opened the first documented tattoo parlor in New York City. For years, tattoo parlors were considered dangerous and socially unacceptable, but they became a huge trend. Later, during the First and Second World Wars, the military used tattoos as a symbol of protection, brotherhood, and remembrance. Through the years, the media made tattooing very popular in the United States. Today, the fad is still growing between adults and teens, tattooing to express themselves, their thoughts, and style. tattooing has changed from something that is looked down on and rare to one of the most popular and common forms of self-expression. So with all of this being said, before you jump to make a statement on negative associations, know your history.